Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Dr. Dawn Michael, and today we're going to talk about how to build that deep, intimate trust with your spouse. And I'm going to go over the 3 areas of trust that really help in a relationship. And if those 3 areas of trust are met, then most couples can have a deeper sexual connection. And who doesn't want to have that in a marriage? I mean, if you think about it, when you get married, you become each other's sole sexual partners. And so when one person is not wanting it or the other person maybe doesn't feel desire, of course, there's a whole host of issues that go into this. But when it isn't working, it becomes a problem in the marriage. If you notice, when sex is working and when you're having it and when you're enjoying it, it doesn't become an issue in the marriage. But when you're not having it and when you're not enjoying it, it can become a huge problem. So I'm going to go over the 3 areas of trust with you. I'm going to be reading them from my book, The Ultimate Intimacy Guide for Passionate People, and giving you some tips on how to work through these 3 areas of trust to see if you have them in your marriage. And if you don't, how you can get them, because it will make a very big difference. And also some of the differences between men and women, because as you know, there are differences. There are some emotional differences, there's definitely sexual differences, and so we're going to discuss that too. So if you like my video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it, and leave your comment. So here we go. I'm going to read from my book, The 3 Areas of Trust, and explain to you why having them is so important and how that can really create that bond that, that makes your relationship so wonderful, that deep sensual sexual bond that some couples have and some couples don't have it, and you can definitely see the difference. If you're ever wondering, gosh, the couple looks like they are still together, they're still holding hands, they're still playful with each other, they just look like they have that great connection, they enjoy each other's company, they look like they're each other's best friends. For the most part, they're probably having a decent sex life. When you see couples that are kind of distanced from one another, that are fighting a lot, that just don't spend a lot of time together, a lot of times they're really not being intimate with one another. So there really is something to say for having a good sexual relationship when you're married. So let me go over these areas for you so that you can see if you have them and how you can improve upon them. So both men and women need to trust their partners enough to allow themselves to be open to intimate sex. Some women are unable to reach orgasm during intercourse or have pain or fear issues regarding sex because they do not feel secure. And trust for women can be defined by these 3 levels. So now I'm going to talk about the trust for women that's really important for them. And then I'm going to go into some issues that men have too. So this is for women. So the first one is a physical trust. Do I feel safe with my partner knowing that he will not hurt me physically? This can also equate to a woman being physically and emotionally ready for sex. Is she aroused enough and ready? This is a problem for some women, and they don't even realize it. Is her partner gentle and understanding? All of these fall under physical trust. Next is survival. Do we have a place to live, a roof over our heads, and enough to eat? Are the children taken care of? Can my partner protect and provide for me? While this can equate to financial stability for some, the reality is that a woman can only experience pleasurable sex and fully immerse in the sexual experience when her basic needs are met. And a lot of women say this, and so if this is something where the two of you are struggling financially in your relationship, this may also equate into a feeling for her of not feeling safe, and therefore she's not able to let down her guard and really be able to enjoy the experience. Number 3, emotional. Is he faithful to me? Do we have an understanding that he truly cares for me? If I get attached to him emotionally, will he be there for me when I need him? Is he going to abandon me emotionally after we have sex? And some women feel this especially in the beginning of a relationship. And this part actually happens for men too. So as the relationship continues, you're married for a while, I have seen that men feel this way as much as women feel this way. So now I'm going to talk about men and something that women can do to make their husbands feel needed, important, feel good about themselves. And women really do have an impact on how their husband sees themselves. And most men, I will tell you, they want to be desired by their wives. They want to be wanted, they want to be needed, they want to feel like they have a purpose, that they are, in many respects, their hero, that they can, take care of them. And so if a man feels this way and his wife makes him feel this way, then he will be more apt to be intimate with her, to want to be around her, to want to spend his time with her. So I'm just going to read a little bit about this. And there's a part of this too where sometimes if a man is not feeling this from his wife, he can also experience a loss of desire himself. He can experience performance anxiety, or he can sometimes experience erectile dysfunction. And so let me read this part for you. It's quite interesting because women really do have an impact on how their husband feels sometimes. So many assume that the male population generally finds sexual intercourse enjoyable emotionally and physically as long as they are able to reach orgasm without feeling the pressure to perform. So this is not always true. A man, he wants to know his partner is attracted to him. So the fact that a husband and wife are having sex and he's having an orgasm, but he feels like, oh, it's a duty, or that she's not really into him, or that she's not finding him attractive, or that he doesn't feel that she's desiring him. A man wants to feel this from his wife. It's not just about him having the orgasm. He wants to have that connection with her and know that she's enjoying it as well. And if a man doesn't feel this way over time, sometimes it can make it so that he loses desire, or he's not wanting to have sex as often, or it could even get to the point where he's having some type of anxiety, performance anxiety, not being able to get aroused, especially if he feels that she's not wanting to have sex, he's having sex, and then at some point he stops reaching orgasm, or he has a problem getting an erection, because then you have a whole other set of circumstances coming into play where now the pressure's on him. He doesn't feel that she wants him. She's saying, you have this amount of time to have sex with me. And then he's saying, I just don't feel it anymore. And that's when they end up coming to counseling, because at that point they've lost like their whole entire sexual connection there. So I wanted to bring this important point to you today so that if this is something that is happening in your marriage, you can work on it and understand that, feeling safe is important. And so there are reasons why sex decreases in marriage. There are reasons why couples don't have an exciting sex life. And it's not always one thing, there could be many factors at play. So really try to assess your relationship, and if you find that you're having a problem with it, don't brush it under the carpet. Don't assume that you know what the reason is. Talk to your spouse about it. And in fact, watch some of these videos with your spouse. It might spark a conversation that could lead to some open communication, and the two of you can resolve some problems together. Because really, that's what your marriage is a partnership. It's about the two of you equally enjoying your relationship, equally resolving problems if you have them, and working towards having that deep connection. So as you know, I believe everyone deserves to have a healthy sex life. and so do you. Have a great day. Leave me a thumbs up if you like my videos, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and leave your comment.